This is a book review of The Science of Storytelling by Will Storr. I picked this book up. I have been more interested as of late in storytelling and in things that emphasize humanness in the AI era. Because when it comes down to it, all we've really got are stories and our brands and our businesses. As everything else gets commodified, what are the things we remember? Stories. What are the things that never get old, that endure across different trends, technologies, all of those sorts of things? What are the things that entertain us? What are the things that inspire us? What are the things that motivate us? It all boils down to story. So I started digging in a little bit. I don't remember where I found out about this book. I'm not familiar with Will Storr. Apparently, he's fairly well known author. But yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 book for me. This is an easy recommend. And I think the highest praise I can give a book is that I plan on reading it again very soon. I've already found myself referencing back to parts of it and double checking some of my notes. He writes across topics, but most of this book is derived from courses that he's taught. And this book is, while it's not academic, there's a lot of neuroscience or there's a lot of references. So it's not a flimsy book, but it's not academic. There's a lot of amazing anecdotes, and he's pulls examples from a lot of classic novels, and also am completely unfamiliar with, to illustrate his point. He is a fabulous writer. His ability to explain things and his just command of language is just top notch. It's one of those. He's one of those people. I don't know why I was thinking of this. I was thinking of the rapper Nas as I was reading this, in that he kind of just goes where he wants. An amazing writer or an amazing rapper or artist or whoever, they're not bound by the medium. They kind of just navigate and take you where they need to take you, just fluently. And he's just very, his ability to draw references, to turn a phrase, to use metaphor, and to keep advancing the book on a topic that's so broad and would be very challenging to write. This is part how-to manual, but it dives much deeper into kind of, what is it to be a human. So a few of the things that I took away from this book that made an impression on me. I mean, there's so many good things. About every other page, there's a passage that you're just like, whoa. But a lot of it is about, at least the beginning parts are about how we perceive story actually with our nervous system, and how story helps us make sense of the world. We're constantly taking in so much information, and the way we organize it and the way we process it is through story, through narrative, and putting things in a sequence that may or may not be in a sequence, and a few other things. So he draws on a lot of neuroscience there and how we kind of hallucinate our own realities. Another thing that's very interesting is the interplay and the contrast between our inner and outer worlds. So we're all living these kind of, we've got this external environment, and we also have this internal environment, and the interplay between those two is really fundamental to being human. It's also very fundamental to story. He delves into the question, who am I, as kind of the imperative question for what drives character, and that character drives plot. This very much, if you're into writing stories, which I am not, is very helpful, but it's not a prescriptive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step-by-step guide. This is more about, what are stories? Why do they work? And yeah, it's just it's an incredible book. I was really blown away. It kind of exceeded my expectations. The other thing I liked is that while it does have a lot of amazing stories, it did not. I got at no point in this book did I feel like we're venturing into airport book territory with some stuff that sounds good but probably isn't true. He didn't set that off in me, although who knows how rigorous this actually is. It felt like it was on solid footing, but it was creative enough and entertaining enough that some of the anecdotes and some of the examples kept things moving along. The other thing I would say about this book and the author's writing style that I really enjoyed was he's very self-deprecating and funny. There's a humility to his writing that he kind of would jump back and forth, where he would, make comments about his own life and his own journey through storytelling, just about the difficulties of life. So it's a very like all great art, at least in my opinion, it made me feel very human, and part of the human experience to kind of think through some of these things. There's a philosophical kind of underpinning to this book, even though it's kind of disguised as a how-to manual. So definitely recommend if you're interested in storytelling, either for work or just how they work in general. If you're interested in writing novels or screenplays or whatever, just want to understand what makes a great story. I highly recommend Will Storr's The Science of Storytelling. This came out in 2019 and apparently was fairly popular. So, yep, Science of Storytelling, Will Storr.